Hey, you. You're finally awake.
G'day Smut Squad and welcome back to the channel. We're heading over to the Master System today where I want to praise some of the best games on the system. These are games which I think are 5-star of the system. Basically, whenever you see these games, you've got to sit there, bow and applaud how good these games actually are and give them the flowers they deserve. Before we go any further, if you think I deserve it, please remember to hit that like, hype and subscribe button, as well as listen to the weekly podcast and join our free Discord. Yes, we're talking about games which I think are some of the best on the system and are 5 stars. Basically, they deserve their flowers, and when everyone sees them, they go, ah, ooh, ah. And you should basically praise everything about them. Some of you may disagree and think they're like a 4.5 or even a 3, but this is my list, goddammit. And I know there are ones who aren't on this list, so let me know which games I need to be talking about and put here, because we only do so many. There are more 5-star games on the system, I know there are, but I can only do so many. But as said, let me know with your comments below. Right, let's get into it, shall we? 5-star games for the Master System. Alex Kidd in Shinobi World. Now, I've made this very clear on the channel. I can't stand Alex Kidd in Miracle World. I think that game's a bit of bullcrap. I think it's rubbish. I think it's terrible. It does my head in. And some of you have argued against me, and you'll probably argue against me here. And I was really debating if I wanted to play Alex Kidd in Shinobi World. I was like, oof, do I want to play another Alex Kidd game? Because I was so physically and mentally scarred by bloody Miracle World. You think I'm joking? I went to bed at night horrified that thing. Every time I see a Master System, I recoiled like trauma was coming back. But I was pleasantly surprised, because Alex Kidd in Shinobi World is absolutely brilliant. It basically ignores everything about the first Alex Kidd game, and just goes, well, you know that game Shinobi, which is really good? We're going to kind of make a mockery of it, and make another game which is ridiculous, but either way it's going to be better. Alex Kidd in Shinobi World is just a parody of Shinobi, and it's a better game as well. Like, Alex himself has no fisting ability, so that joke's gone out the window. He now has a sword, he can now throw stuff, he can now do the gymnastic stuff on a bar, which turns him into fire. But one reason I love this game is because of the bosses. The bosses in this game are so funny. They really do parody some of it. They try and look at what happened in the first game with the bosses and then just make stupid parodies of them. Like, the first boss is basically like a big Mario. There's one where a helicopter spits out mini helicopters. There's one where you fought this red samurai and now it's a red lobster. It's literally a red lobster and you cook it, you kill it and it cooks. I was like, that's funny. That's how you make video games. You take the piss out of your own IP, but still make it a good playable game. And I think Alex Kidd in Shinobi World is better than the original. It's fun. I love it. Changed my opinion on Alex Kidd completely. Well done. Well done, Sega. Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, we know Sonic the Hedgehog has a big history with Sega. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the Mega Drive is considered one of the greatest, well, I suppose, opening games of all time. Not going to say greatest game, I'll make that very clear. One of the greatest opening games, because that did absolute gangbusters for Sega when it came out, because it really changed the industry. But the Master System version, you could probably think, well, it's just going to be a watered-down version. Not the case. Because Sonic 1 actually struggled itself on the Mega Drive, because it was meant to be a speed game, but really wasn't, because then you got to Marble Zone, and it was just slow. But however, in this game, it's actually more difficult. You've got original zones like Bridge Zone and Jungle Zone, and Jungle Zone in particular had a really difficult section where you're basically jumping up a waterfall, which was hard as balls. And the Chaos versions are actually hidden within the levels, so there's a lot of exploration to do, and that really wasn't the case with Sonic 1, because you kind of get into the end, and you do the special stages on a separate section. But this was also a lot more difficult than the original Sonic 1. If Sonic has rings and he gets hit, he loses them, but he has a chance to try and get them. Not the case in the Master System version, where as soon as you get hit, they're gone. So this raises the stake up significantly. There's no chance for you to pick up your scattered rings, so you lose your barrier straight away. And most boss fights in this version provide 0 rings, meaning you've got to play perfectly. The thing is, Dr. Robotnik's actually a legitimate threat. Because in the Mega Drive games, you can just basically take a ring or 2 with you and you're going to be okay, and it's really only the final boss which you don't have any rings. Here, it's most of the time. I said, it's a very good game. Sonic's sprite is really good here, and it does retain most of this Mega Drive personality. But don't play the Game Gear port, because the Game Gear kind of squishes everything here, and you don't really get the full effect of seeing everything and all the luscious platforming sections you can do when you look at the Master System version. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Game Gear for reasons like that. Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap. Now, long before the term Metroidvania was a household term, you could basically say that, well, Dragon's Trap was there for it. it liked to basically be the same sort of thing because it had this massive interconnected world. But the cool thing about this game was that you could change into different creatures. You had a lizard man, a mouse man, piranha man, lion man, and hawk man, and they all had their own unique ability, and that helped you get across the stage and across the world. I think that's cool as anything. I'm all for turning into different monsters. I think that's really cool. And aside from all the different forms you can change in, there's a lot of depth with some of the swords, the shields, and the armour, and many of those items have hidden elemental properties or like secret effects. So you've got the dragon mail, which allows you to walk into lava. And across the world, you've got to go collect coins, and whilst in Mario they do bugger all, apart from just get your points up, here it's necessary for survival, because you've got to buy the items, you've got to buy equipment, you've got to buy healing items, and try and get that legendary armour. And that adds a layer of strategy rarely seen in the console, because again, you've got to work out what you're going to spend your money on while trying not to die. And all the sprite work looks incredible. Like, I'm really impressed how much this still holds up today, and I have been critical of the Wonder Boy series in the past, but number 3 is an absolutely spectacular system. You've got a password system, which is good. Like, I would have loved a battery save, but it wasn't a big thing back then, so I would have preferred that. But no, we'll take a password system over anything and let you keep everything, so what's the problem? And also, the game's quite fair in its challenge. Again, some games want to bend you over and make it its bitch. Not this one. It likes you, gives you a kiss at night, and tucks you into bed. R-Type. Now, we all know I'm not very good at shmup games, but I can't sit there and not say that R-Type was an absolute bloody juggernaut. It was insane. At the time, it was one of the largest games on the system, like 4 megabit cartridge to cram in every detail from the arcade. How insane is that? 4 megabytes? 4 MB? Like, the song WAP has probably got more MB, and it's probably disgusting than R-Type. Let's be honest about these things. Like, I can take a photo on my phone, and that has more memory than a video game, a legendary video game. I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, but that's what we do here. Now, talking about R-Type, this version on the Master System is often considered the best home version of the era. All the bosses are here from the arcade, and they still fill the screen, which makes it feel absolutely terrifying. And yes, while there is some sprite flickering, like this is a common 8-bit thing, the background details still look absolutely beautiful to the original arcade game, and Sega have to be praised for what they were able to do here. But they should always be praised because there was an exclusive secret stage not found in the arcade or PC Engine versions. By performing a specific maneuver in stage 4, you access the hidden level. This adds significant replay value for players who'd already mastered the arcade layout and wanted something fresh. Like, ooh, I've just done something new. And no, it's not do a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll. It's not that. But it's also famous for the one-hit you're dead mechanic. Now, it's not Contra, so we can't say if it shaves your dick or graces your dick. What are we going to say this time? Glances a wing? Yeah, that's nowhere near as fun. But unlike most shooters where you respawn instantly, R-Type sends you back to a checkpoint. That actually kind of makes you feel like you've got to learn the patterns, and it kind of becomes a bit of a puzzle, which I kind of prefer more than anything. And as well as the graphics, the soundtrack's banging too! Can't go wrong with that soundtrack. Again, they've done an incredible job of trying to get that arcade tunes over onto the Master System. And this really is an incredible game, and I said, although I'm crap at shmup games, I can't deny this is fun. Phantasy Star. Now, I know some of you would literally be tearing at the walls if I did not mention Phantasy Star. I swear to God, I reckon you'd be coming over to our house if you didn't know I'd put this on the list. But it is here, because I have to say it is the RPG for the Master System. I've completed it, I finished it, and I did enjoy it. But my memories of it as a kid, I actually was quite timid about it, because I played it not knowing what an RPG was, and I got my arse handed to me by a big eyeball flying thing. It was like, what is going on? This isn't Sonic. What? Attack? Defend? What? I have no idea what I was doing. But subsequently, having becoming a Final Fantasy god, I knew what I was doing as an adult, and managed to get through the game quite well. The game has a bit of a mixture of top-down, face-to-face battles, and then also when you're going through the labyrinth, which you goddamn need a map for, because it's goddamn confusing sometimes, but either way, at the time, that would have been riveting, and drawing a map would have actually been for fun. You have a party of 4 players, including a goddamn cat, which makes no goddamn sense. I don't like the cat. I hate the cat. You're stupid cat. Can you imagine going into battle? Oh, we're off to fight this legendary monster. It's me and a cat. Like, what do? Yeah, spoiler, I don't care. The cat changes later on, but then he changes back into a cat. I was like, just to stay as the big cool lion thingy. Why are you a stupid cat? I don't like it. I know there are plenty of things I can talk about this game and say how great it is, but I want to focus on that cat. Stupid. I'd say the same thing if it was a dog. Like if a dog was just sat there and your party member and start doing magic attacks. It's just weird. Why not have a giraffe, for God's sake? Let's take a giraffe or a zebra. Why not? Shit it, let's go for a big-ass bear. Or do we have Kuma in Tekken? Stupid. I still love this game, but it's don't like that cat. You know I want to punch the cat, don't you? Golden Axe Warrior. Now, look. Let's just get the main thing out here. It is a brilliant game. It's good. I can't fault this game at all. It's so much fun. It has nothing much to do with Golden Axe. I know it tries to put some of the enemies in here, but come on. Come on. It's not Golden Axe. What this basically is, it's The Legend of Zelda. With better colours. And they went, right, Legend of Zelda, one of the best games ever made at the time. How can we basically rip that off and do our own thing? And Sega sat there and went, well, we do have this one with Golden Axe. You know, kind of a similar vibe. Shall we just do a copy-paste job here? And they must have gone, yep. But we do need to make it a little bit different. Okay, give him an axe. And that'll do. I can't sit here and talk much more about it in the sense of how good it is, because it's basically, if you like Zelda, you're gonna love this. Okay? You are gonna love this. But there's also towns and NPCs. I should actually say that's not fair. There are town and NPCs, so you're not just on your own with Link, who's probably, you know, because he doesn't talk to anyone. Link doesn't need anyone. But here, your character probably does have a sense of actually who he is and what his name is, so you probably do need some characters to talk to. And they said, yeah, there are NPCs who are like, oh yeah, Death Adder's really mean. I don't like him. Okay, we get it. There are slight differences. For anyone shouts at me in the comments and goes, you don't know what you're on about, Daniel. You've got no idea. Those two games are completely different in every bit of genre. There are minor differences, but they are definitely not a copy and paste. I think you are a bad video game reviewer. That's fine. I'm not implying I am a bad video game reviewer. I claim I'm an absolute moron. That's what I think I am. I'm just a man who's trying to get through this at 5 o'clock in the morning while drinking a cold water. I wish it was a beer, but it's far too early for that, and I've got work shortly, so leave me alone. And finally, Master of Darkness. Now, we've just had the conversation about Zelda. Now we're going to have the conversation with Master of Darkness and Castlevania, because there's a definite copy-paste job here. I basically take the blueprint and see what we can do. So whereas Castlevania stayed primarily in like a medieval gothic territory, Master of Darkness leaned into the 19th century aesthetic. So you're playing as, instead of a Belmont, you're playing Dr. Social, a psychologist. That's a shit name. That's crap. By the way, you're fighting in 1890s London, and you're going to be fighting a lot of horror-themed tropes such as Jack the Ripper, eventually into a showdown with Count Dracula himself, and you can't have a go at Castlevania for this. Dracula's not their IP. Alright, for anyone who goes, Mel, they just stole it. No, they didn't. But the cool thing is, compared to Castlevania, is the fact that you could jump mid-air and change direction. Oh my god. You did it as a Belmont, you basically went, well, I'm jumping there. Oh, I die. And also, you got forgiving knockback. Whereas if you got hit as a Belmont, you flew halfway back to Sunday. Here, there's a little bit of give. So if that little bat knocks you, it's not as absolutely lethal as it could have been. You've also got your different weapons, like a knife, a saber, a cane, an axe. That's quite cool, rather than just a whip. So there is differences. And you've also got the sub-weapon system, so you've got like a pistol, a bomb, a dynamite, a boomerang, and a stake. I do like the way the game looks. I do like the way the game plays. Again, if you're going to take something and make your own, well, they did. It's just a shame we never got more of them. And this game should be heralded as the best Castlevania game not made by Konami. And for many, it's a superior 8-bit experience because it does keep that challenge of the genre while stripping away some of those technical problems that the original Castlevania had, i.e. the jumping and the knockback. I enjoyed this game. It's fun, it's challenging. Does it have that gravitas that the Castlevania games do? No, of course it doesn't. There's a big history with Castlevania. But is it still a 5-star game for the Master System? Yes. Yes, it is. And that's it. Some 5-star games for the Master System. As always, there are going to be ones that I've forgotten about, so please let me know in the comments below. And as always, please give this a like and a hype, because that is what helps the channel grow, and we really want to try and get this to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'll see you all in a few days. Please go check out the podcast which is coming out today, and I'll see you all then. You all take care of yourself. My name's been Danny. Follow your dreams.